Myshire Farm. I just sat down, so let me get situated here and then we will get started. iPad has not seen the office for 3 weeks. It's been in the barn the whole time, so it's a little dusty. So let me clean that off, and then as soon as we load up, we will get started. And I'm going to take a drink while we do that. While we're waiting on this to load, I do have just a few announcements tonight, not that many. I've been missing, well, last week was Easter, and the week before I was unable to be here. So I did miss the past 2 weeks, but we will be back. I don't see missing anymore anytime soon. But with the crazy schedule, I have no idea what's going on. So we'll see how that goes. But welcome everybody. We're glad you're here. We try to do this every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do a live question and answer with Myshire Farm. And so if you have any questions about Coturnix quail, or how to be more successful with them, or how to raise them or breed them, or what to choose, or incubation process, or any questions at all, concerning Coturnix quail, feel free to ask in the comments. I will get to the questions and help you on your adventure the best that I can. We do this, or we try to do this every Sunday. I do miss a few here and there, but we do a few things every Sunday when we're on here. And number one, if you want to let us know where you're from, it's always interesting to see where all the quail people are at in the world. Number two, if you've hatched any eggs from us in the past week, I've missed the past 2 weeks. So if you've hatched any eggs from us in the past 2 weeks and have not given us the hatch rate, feel free to do so. And I'll write that down for our records. We're sitting a little over 73%, but I don't have that number in front of me right now, but it's just right over 73% on chipped eggs for the year, so I'm pretty happy about that. And remember, it's a live Q&A, so ask your questions and we'll be here to try to help you answer those the best that we can. And last but not least, let's support each other. This is a community. We're trying to grow together and be more self-sufficient concerning Coturnix quail. And so let's support each other in the comments. Let's be kind to one another. And if you can, be kind to me by just hitting the like button, supporting the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Our goal tonight is going to be 100 likes. I don't know if we'll get there or not, but that would be fantastic if we do. So if you can support that, that would be awesome. Now, right before we begin, I usually do some announcements. I have been killing myself the past couple of weeks, so I'm behind, feels like on about everything. I am behind on QuailCon. It is happening. It is available on our website. You can find information about that on our website, which is myshirefarm.com. But as far as getting the information out there or doing YouTube videos on that, I'm a little bit behind on that. But the information is being worked on. The information is available for you on that. We are selling tickets, and without me actually advertising for it, we're actually doing pretty well with that. On the website at myshirefarm.com, I believe it is titled Backyard Homesteading and QuailCon, and there's a little tab for that, so you can check that out. And as soon as I get a chance, I will try to update everybody on everything that's going on with that. Secondly, if you are not going, or if you've not heard of, you can check out, if you'll be in the Iowa area at the end of June, beginning of July, there is what's called Murray Fest. Murray McMurray Hatchery is going to be putting on a Murray Fest for that weekend. I believe it's a 2-day event. We will be there. Myshire Farm will be there. We'll be speaking. It's going to be a lot of fun. And so if you haven't heard about that or checked it out, make sure you look that up. I believe if you just type in on Google murrayfest.com or just Murray Fest, it should be showing up for you. So I'm pretty excited about that as well. If you are part of Quail University, then we just did last week a Quail for Profit webinar. And I believe another one is coming up in 2 weeks from last week. We're doing it twice this month. And it went very well last week. A lot of great questions. We went over a little bit over an hour. It was a Zoom meeting, and we had quite a bit of people show up. So if you're part of that, feel free to sign up for that. It is free for all the Quail University attendees, and I was very excited to be able to do that this week. Now, I am working a little between 85 and 105 hours a week. I've been doing that for the past 3 or 4 weeks. So everything is a little chaotic. Our first and main focus is getting eggs out on a daily basis and getting orders out as quickly as we can. And obviously taking care of the quail in the barn and the brooders and the chicks and, overall health. And I am keeping up with my phone. So if you're emailing or texting me, it's taking me about a little less than a day to get back to everybody. But as far as keeping everybody updated and posted on what's going on or what the plans are, that is not going to happen right now. I just got too much stuff on my plate. So hopefully we will slow down in the next month or so, where I can get control of some things, and then we'll work it all out. But we would love for you to come to QuailCon, so please make sure you at least check that out on our website at myshirefarm.com. And I think that is all the announcements that I'm going to let you know about right now. We do have a couple more in the works, but again, I haven't been able to clarify and make things concrete. So until that happens, I'll let that be. But I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for showing up. I'm sorry I missed the past 2 weeks. Last week was Easter. The week before, I was somewhere else working, and I worked until about 3 o'clock in the morning that night. So I could not take a break that day. But this is what we signed up for, having a farm and having a business and having kids and everything else like that. It's just part of the territory. So no complaining, and this is what we asked for. So now I just got to step up, right? All right. So let's get into your questions and comments. Again, the purpose of this is a question and answer. So ask your questions in the comments. We will get to you as quickly as possible. And I did want to share something with you. This is a little while ago. I meant to bring it up before, but it's really something that I'm very interested in. And it's Farm World. And it's a newspaper, I guess you can say. It's serving Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Kentucky, Michigan, Tennessee. On the front page of volume 70 that I got about a month ago, the title says AG Census, U.S. lost 142,000 farms and 20 million acres in 5 years. And there's I'd love to read you the whole article, but I'm sure everybody would leave me and we wouldn't get to your question. So I won't do that. But it was quite interesting for a lot of different reasons. There was almost a 10% decline in Tennessee. There was almost a 10% decline in Wisconsin. And then there was 9 other states that were above 10%. And then the largest was 16.2% decline in New Mexico as far as acres being lost, whether it's being sold and not being used for agriculture anymore or foreclosed on or whatever the case may be. And there's a lot of really interesting information in there. And it says that the census defines a farm as any place from which $1,000 or more of agricultural products were produced and sold, or normally would have been sold during the census year. And this was 2022. And it was a very interesting read. It looks as though, well, the census said that people that owned, I don't remember the exact numbers. I don't know if I can find, yeah, here it is. 180 to 499 acres declined rapidly. I won't give you all those numbers. But what did increase extremely high was people that owned between 1 to 10 acres. that increased dramatically. So the big farms, the 500-acre areas are decimating. But there's a ton of people that are getting anywhere from 1 to 10 acres, and they are really interested in self-sufficiency and living on the land. And so hearing that we lost 20 million acres in 5 years to lost agricultural farms and land, that's very concerning. However, with the increase so much in the small acreage, I see hope in that, and I hope you do as well. And that's why getting the word out about self-sufficiency, helping teach other people, excuse me, bringing out the education, exciting people, enthusing people to get involved with self-sufficiency is very, very important. And there's a huge need for that. And on top of that, Coturnix quail. I mean, if you're going to live on 1 to 10 acres, Coturnix quail is a great farm animal that you can have that gives you a lot of benefits in a very small little space. So I really do think that this is the time that we really try to spread the word about Coturnix quail, and hopefully that will give some of you guys some ideas on how to get out there and encourage you to do so, because it is very, very important. All right, I am going to get off my little soapbox here, and let's get into your questions. All right. Haven't talked all day, but my throat's sore. Wyatt Higgs is in the house. Says, hey, Zach, after my quail are molting, how long till they should start laying again? It's been about 6 weeks, listening from southern Indiana. It should not be 6 weeks. Once the molt happens, on average, it's about 2 weeks. I would go back to the fundamentals, which is 16 to 18 hours of light a day, 4 or 5 hens to every 1 male, 3 quail per square foot. If they're over a year and a half old, that could be a huge mark saying that they're just not going to start again. Make sure that there is no predators around that is scaring them. If they feel threatened, then they won't actually lay the eggs, and they'll continue to withhold that. That's what I would go back to. If you wanted to, you could try to boost them up by giving them some rooster booster, which you can find on either Amazon or Tractor Supply or Rural King, things like that, and put some electrolytes in the water. Yeah, I would go back to the fundamentals before anything else. Isidro Martins is in the house. I am from Windsor, Canada. Welcome. We're glad you're here. About 30 quail eggs from you guys. I had 19 hatched. 6 were not fertile. That is not bad at all. I'm very happy with those numbers. Thank you for letting me know, Canada. Let's see. Isidro, if you're still on, I know that we're about 15 minutes in, but if you're still on, if you could let me know what kinds you ordered, I'd greatly appreciate it. But great hatch rate, congratulations. And yes, they are doing a great job in Canada and giving quality products. So I'm very excited about that. And welcome, we're glad you're here. Carl's Quail is in the house. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Ed Got Bait and Vay's Place are in blue in the comments. There are moderators on here. They do a fantastic job keeping everybody together and getting the questions right and making sure all the shenanigans are getting kicked out quickly. And they'll try to help you answer the questions or give you advice before I get to them in case you can't stay while I'm behind, but we're going to get caught up right now, so let's go. Erica Willis is in the house from Arkansas. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Megan is in the house from Austin, Texas. Hope all is good. Absolutely, welcome. David Lister's in the house from McAllister Quail Trail. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Aaron Goutros is in the house. Says, good evening, Quailer. Hey, Zach. Watching from South Louisiana. Welcome. Joy's in the house from Western Oregon. Glad you're here. Aaliyah's in the house from Troy, Ohio, and Laura is in Montana. Glad you're both here, and don't get a lot of Montana, so welcome. We're glad you're here. And Troy, Ohio is not too far away, 45 minutes maybe. Joy is in the house. Let's see. Nikki James is in the house from Missouri. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Dragon Girl is in the house. Welcome. SMT is in the house from Virginia. Welcome. Let's see. My babies are hatching a day early. That's never happened to me before. That's awesome. Well, good luck to you. Usually, if they start hatching a little early, that means your temp is a little high. If it's only a day early, it's not the end of the world, but you do want to keep an eye on that, because if they start hatching 2 or 3 days early, then that becomes a problem. Day is kind of just a warning sign to make sure you get that under control before it gets out of control. But congratulations, and I wish you all the best, and it shouldn't affect your hatch at all. S.O. Swanson's in the house from the Mississippi Delta. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Quail's Bees and Gardens is in the house. Welcome. Andy is in the house from Kansas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Ashley Rose is in the house. Says hello. Excited. Our Celadon quail eggs just arrived, but we're a few days late in transit and one egg was broken. Do you think hatching right? Yeah, they'll be fine. Just one is broken. That's why we sent extra. So that's not a big deal at all. And they're laid the same day as shipped. So I mean, even if it takes 5 days to get there, they're still way in the green zone, as I call it, to be fine and not affected by hatchability at all. And good luck. I wish you the best, and keep us posted on the hatch. Let's see. Leah says, bought a Nurturite 360 and having trouble regulating humidity. What is acceptable humidity range for incubation and lockdown? With the Nurturite 360, I would recommend doing a dry hatch, especially since you're in Ohio. So that means don't worry about the humidity at all. Do not add any water during the incubation process. Don't even look at it. And then at lockdown, make sure you bump that up to 75%. And you really want it to be between 75 and 80% during lockdown the whole time. Let's see. Kimberly's in the house from Delaware, Ohio. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Hatching rate would be, yeah, we just answered that one. Wouldn't affect the hatch rate at all. Vernon is in the house from Maryland. Welcome. We're glad you're here. James is in the house. Eggs hatching as we speak. Question: is it common for hatch chicks to pick as eggs pipping? Yep. They are very curious and playful and trying to get their brothers and sisters out. So yeah, that's not a problem at all, and they won't hurt each other. They'll be fine. Douglas is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Ann is in the house from Warren, Ohio. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Andy's in the house from Southwest Michigan. Welcome. Kimberly says everyone is loving my... Oh, where'd you go? Why did you... Where? That was weird. There's like 3 comments that just deleted on me. I don't think I did anything. Sorry, I could not read the end of that question. Let's see. Douglas was next on my screen anyway. Says, is raw ground quail good for cat and dogs? I've never fed it to cats, and I give our dogs, I've never ground them up. But I know people that do, and it's no issue at all. But I give our dogs whole quail, and no issues at all. And we've ground some up before in the past for some raw dog food customers. So yeah. As far as I know it goes, it's fine. But I don't know much about the grounding. I've only done it once or twice, and I've not fed my own dogs that. S.O. Swanson says, quail and homesteading con in 146 days. We are back. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on with our internet. Jenna was saying that she was having issues as well. Let me try something on this end real quick, just in case it tries to do that again. Hold on just a second. All right, that's going to give it a little bit more power. Sorry about that, everybody. We'll get back to it. Mitchell Rice is in the house from Jacksonville, Florida. Newbie just hatched 200 jumbo this weekend and have 300 hatching next week. Diving right into this, going to buy some layers when you have them available. Awesome. Well, good luck. I wish you the best. And yeah, you're going all in, so that's awesome. Good luck to you. Hope you had a great hatch, and I wish you the best. We will be updating our live quail on our website every Tuesday after I ship out. We ship out only every Tuesday on live quail, and then we ship out every day for the hatching eggs, but just Tuesdays on live quail. So every Tuesday we'll update the website. But good luck, and I wish you the best, and keep me posted on your progress. Let's see. Into the Wild says hi, Zach. Kurt here from Michigan. I have some 7-week-old quail that I hatched from you. How long after my hens start laying can I start saving eggs for incubation? Also, when do I start a layer feed? So I would start your layer feed next week when they're 8 weeks old, especially if they've already started laying. And typically, when the first egg is laid, you wait a full week. And then, so once they've been laying for a full week, then you can start incubating. If you've got plenty of space, you could do it then, but you'll have a very low fertility and development rate the first week. But I mean, if you've got plenty of space, then you could do that. But typically the best thing to do is the first week, just, they're good for eating eggs or whatever. Feed it back to the quail, whatever you want to do. And then after the first week, you're off to the races as long as you've got the right male to female ratio. And good luck to you. I wish you the best. Juan's in the house from Florida. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Let's see. Kimberly's in the house. Been looking at growing microgreens to feed quail to get darker yolks. Any other suggestions? I do not. Yeah, but I mean, if you're wanting to do that, then it would be a diet. So you're on the right track. A. Jones is in the house, says hi all, checking in from the northeast tip of Ohio. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Fran Crow's in the house, welcome, we're glad you're here. Diana Tuttle from Tut Farms is in the house from Windy, Kansas, welcome. No one's talking to me right there. We go. Fred's in the house from North Carolina, welcome. A. Jones says, I do watch lots of your shows, but mostly later in the day. My weekends are crazy busy. I hear that. I understand that. John F. is in the house, says, good evening. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Joanne says, Crestview, Florida, just starting, and I am doing Quail University. And I missed the Quail for Profit. I will be ordering eggs in fall, and I'm curious about your celadons. No videos? No, not yet, because I just don't have the time to do them. But a lot of the description and a lot of the information is on our website, so it's just not in a video form. But eventually, when I slow down and I'm not working crazy, ridiculous hours, I will be happy to do those videos. But yeah, no videos just yet. But we'll be doing another Quail for Profit class on the Quail University course, so keep your eyes open for that. And good luck to you. I wish you the best. Alaska Nomad says, went to flea market today, 2 tables of crystals from all over the world, 6 quail, 50 people wanted quail, LOL. There you go. That's awesome. Well, good luck, and hope it keeps going for you. Laura says, can hens crow? No, they kind of do a cooing sound, but no, they don't really crow. I'm being told that hens can crow if there's no rooster, then a hen will start acting like a rooster. That's not accurate at all. No, sorry. That's misinformation. No, hens will not crow. And hens will not turn into boys. Carrie Knapp is in the house. Welcome. The sun is finally out here in Ottawa, Canada. Glad you're here. Carrie is in charge of our Myshire Canada edition. She's been shipping out weekly and getting great results. We just had a hatch rate come in tonight from Canada, which is 19 out of 30, which is not bad at all. And the weather's not great. So once the weather breaks, it should be even better. So very excited about that. Brad at Be a Blessing Farm is in the house. Has had my very first hatch 2 weeks ago. Had 26 out of 31 tuxedos hatch. Only 31 because I broke one of the extras. Quail U is priceless, by the way. Thanks so much. My jumbo wilds should be here soon. Well, congratulations. on the hatch rate. Very happy for you, BTA. And that's one. I mean, you did great. 26 out of 30. You would have purchased 30 of them. So you bought 30. You had 26 hatch. That's awesome. And I'll get you the jumbos out as quickly as I can. We are on about a 3 to 4 week wait on jumbo wilds right now, and about 2 to 3 weeks on jumbo mixes. I think we're 2 to 3 weeks out on celadons as well. And everything else is about 2 weeks out, a little less, 5 to 10 days out, business days. So be patient with us, but we are doing much better than last year, if you believe it or not. Last year, our jumbo wilds were on about an 18-week wait. We worked very tirelessly. Like, I'm still not caught up from it. Last year for, September, October, November, December, January, to make sure that we had a lot more jumbo wilds and a lot more jumbo Egyptians to keep up with demand. And 3 to 4 weeks out is not ideal. I'd like it to be more of a 2 to 3 week wait. But it's not 16 to 18 weeks out, so I will take that every day of the week. And this is busy season, so I'm pretty happy about that. So we will get them out to you as quickly as possible. And congratulations again. Let's see. McCool 1957 says, hi from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I don't know my percentages yet. They just finished hatching today, day 20, so too low temp. Most likely it was too low of humidity, but it's really hard to say. It could be either way. It could be the temp, but it could be either one. It could be either one. But day 20 is not too bad. I mean, if they started on day 16 or 17 like they should, then it should be about a 2-day window for them to continue to hatch. So if they start on day 16, that's day 18, you'll get some stragglers on day 19. They just want a day over, not a big deal. If they started hatching on day 17, then you're pretty much right on track. So you're right around where you should be. I wouldn't worry about it too much. And good luck. I wish you the best. Tim W says, can I use markers on eggs for identification purposes? You can. We used to do that, and we went with a different method now. But yeah, we used to do that back in the day, and that's not a big deal at all. Won't affect the hatch rate or viability at all. Good question. South Alabama Roots is in the house from South Alabama. There you go. And AJ is in North Alabama. So welcome both. Kylene Donovan's in the house from Central Oregon. Super excited. We just hatched our first quail last weekend. They hatched on day 16 and 17. Is this normal? That's right where you want to be at. Yeah, you want them. Ideally, a perfect hatch is they start hatching, a few hatch on day 16, you get a massive hatch on day 17, and you get some stragglers on day 18 and maybe even day 19. Yeah, if the majority of them hatched on day 16, 17, that is exactly where you want it to be. Congratulations, that's awesome. And I wish you the best, but that's very exciting, especially your first hatch. Very exciting. Alaska Nomad says, just hatched 23 out of 35 quail eggs in a 360. My first time. It was my practice run before I got your eggs. Super excited. That's great hatch rate. Congratulations. Very cool. Good luck, and I wish you the best, Jumbo Wilds. Thank you very much, Zedro. I appreciate that. Wrote that down for our records. I am keeping the I am keeping the US and the Canada side different on our hatch rates. So I will be able to start letting you guys know what the average hatch rate for the Canada division is, and at the beginning of next month is when we'll start that, because they started later in the year. But so far they're keeping up with us. I mean, it's going to be a battle, so it's going to be fun. That'll be a fun competition to do. Stacy Lee's in the house, says, hi, ordered 30 each of Jumbo Wilds and Italians. Hatched 16 of the Jumbos, 12 of the Golds. They were kind of held up at your post office for a while. Jumbo, I would assume you mean Jumbo Browns. I'm assuming JB is Jumbo Browns. Um, it's not too bad, especially if the post office didn't do, great. Not too bad at all. That's all right. Um, Wyatt says you're selling Celadons now. Yep, we've been selling Celadons since I don't remember February 1st, I do believe. But yeah, they're on the website now. Bob Cole's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Ban Garcia's in the house. Says, how many females do you recommend getting if you want to start doing balut? How many females? Well, it doesn't really matter what you do with the eggs. It matters how many you're wanting to sell. So, I mean, if you said 50 or 100. If you want 100 hens, you're looking at, 650 eggs a week? Can your business support? Can you sell 650 eggs a week? Because if you can't, then you don't want 100 hens. And then you would cut that in half if you were doing 50. So can you support selling 325 balut eggs a week? So I mean, it really depends on what you can support selling. Is really what that would come down to. Eric Willis says, I had one hen crow. It seems to be a dominance thing to establish pecking order. Interesting. Douglas is in the house from Michigan. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Buster is in the house. Welcome. Roll Van is in the house from South Africa. Thanks for your live enjoy. Absolutely. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're here. Very exciting. So we are all over the place tonight. Pretty cool. I did freeze up for a minute, but we are back. It looks like we have a much better strength now, so I'll keep an eye on that. Ban Garcia says, for how much would you sell 1 week old hatchling? Again, that really depends on your market. I mean, you could sell them for $10 a piece, but are you going to sell them? Probably not. You could sell them for 50 cents a piece, and I bet you would sell out. So it really depends on what your market stands for. I would say the national average is around $2 a chick. But again, there's places that I know of, a person in Kentucky that sells them for $1 a piece. I know someone that sells them in Washington State that gets between $3 and $5 a chick. If I try to sell our chicks for $3 to $5 for local, they'd probably laugh me out of business because that's not what our market handles and supports. So it really goes back to doing your market research and finding out what works best in your area. I know they're not great answers for you, Ban Garcia, but I really don't want to tell you, well, this is what I would do, and it doesn't work for you, or you lowball and you're not making as much profit because of your specific area. So yeah, I mean, the best thing to do there is do your market research on that. David says it must be cold in Ohio. Zach froze. I did. I don't think it had anything to do with that, but it's supposed to start warming up tomorrow. I'm pretty excited about that. Wyatt says 83 watching and only 51 likes. Absolutely. Hit the like button, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Our goal tonight is to hit 100 likes if we can do that. But we'll see how it goes. Bob Cole says going to run 35% to lockdown, bump to 70%, till lockdown, bump to 70%. I highly recommend anybody watching, you bump it up to 75%. I really do not like that 70%. I think you're leaving unhatched eggs in the incubator. 75% really does seem to get the best results. So just keep that in mind. If the 70% works for you, then that's completely fine. But for a lot of you that's starting out, I really highly recommend 75%. There we are. Greg's Cumberlachia Kitchen is in the house from East Tennessee. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Ed Got Bait says, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Absolutely support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Van Garcia says, how much would a 7-week-old fully matured bird cost? I would never sell a 7-week-old fully matured bird because you're not going to get the cost out of it. You've had to have the infrastructure. You've had to have the whole heat system. You've had to feed them for 7 weeks, which they eat quite a bit. Um, it, it wouldn't be worth it to me. I sell them at 3 weeks old. Uh, you can feather sex at 3 weeks old, sell the rest of them as straight runs, and then freeze the males and sell them to falconries or or something like that. So um, I wouldn't sell 7 week olds. Um, Tim says, "What is too much humidity during lockdown, and will I be able to tell if chicks have drowned in the egg?" You could. That's really not a huge issue. I mean, it's possible. So I'm not saying it's not a possibility. But really, you don't want to go above, well, you definitely don't want to go above 85%. There is a small sliding scale on that. Um, you really don't want it to go above 80, and you don't want it to go below 73%. Your sweet spot is 73 to 80%. Now, if that doesn't mean that if you have a huge hatch and it bumps it up to 85% for like 2 hours, and then it comes back down, it's not going to affect anything. But keeping it there for days, that would affect things. Um, but uh, but yeah, you want to keep it in that sliding scale. So 70, we'll say 70 to 80% is where you want to keep that sliding scale at. But again, I really recommend you try to keep it as close to 75 as possible. Witch Doctor's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Scott's in the house. Just built my first quail cage, 10 by 3 by 12. Got 50 normal jumbo Coturnix female on the way from local guy, but really wanted some of your colors, hopefully soon. We do have teens available on the website, which is the fun colors. So you can check that out. And then obviously we always have the eggs available. And then the sex quail, the hens, are week by week, depending on what I have available. But good luck. I wish you the best. And getting 50 of them off the bat's pretty cool. So good luck. Ben Garcia says, have you done any new adaptations on your incubators, and do you plan on doing a new video on it anytime soon? Nope, I have strictly went to GQFs. Love GQFs. Can't say anything bad about GQFs. And so much easier than trying to control and replace and fix do-it-yourselfs. I don't recommend them. We're getting rid of ours, and straight GQF all the way. It's 100% worth it. 100% worth it. Greg says, I've been giving my quail purple dead nettle, and they are going crazy over it. I do have grit in their cage. Can they eat too much? Should I limit? They literally start squawking when they see me. I've never tried that, so I don't know if there's I don't know if they can eat too much of that or not. I've never tried it, but if they like it, then go for it. Dragon Girl says, just ordered jumbo Egyptian eggs to arrive late May. Absolutely, we'll get those out when you requested them, and I wish you the best. And good luck. Jan is in the house. Joe and Jan Steffi from Indiana. See you at QuailCon. Absolutely, we will be here. And I am going to be very excited once we get that ball rolling. I gotta go rent the tables and the chairs, and I got, do that stuff, and it overwhelms me because I've got so much stuff going on. But when it comes around, I'm really excited about it. So I will be very excited when it comes around. Ball with Boz in the house. Scott from Louisiana. Can't wait to see y'all at QuailCon. Absolutely. Scott says, anyone have a link for jumbo quail egg cartons? We sell them on our website, so myshirefarm.com. Elias from Puerto Rico, the eggs arrive in excellent condition. Awesome, love to hear that. This year we started in the past, we've always been shipping all over the U.S., and then this year we have stopped shipping to Hawaii because Hawaii hates me, and I'm tired of dealing with them. And there's way too much red tape. But we did start shipping to Puerto Rico, and we did start shipping to Canada, all over Canada, and we are currently working on the Philippines, which looks like that's going to be a go pretty soon. So yeah, a lot of things in the works. There's so much stuff going on. But it's all going to be great. It's all going to be great. I just wish I had time to breathe sometimes. Erica says, my Celadon eggs are in transit. They should be here by Wednesday, according to the post office. I would assume you're going to get them probably Tuesday, but the post office is what it is. I actually was contacted by 3 different hatcheries, some of them very large, and they were asking us how the post office is doing this year. And I said they're about a day later than last year, but obviously it hasn't affected the hatch rate or the live birds. Now that doesn't mean that a couple of, I think we've shipped close to, God, I don't know. We've probably shipped close to 3,000 to 4,000 live quail this year so far, and with that we've probably lost 30 maybe, and most of them is because they showed up extremely late. But with that ratio, that's still not bad. I mean, obviously we don't want to lose any quail, but we can't control the post office. So that's not too bad. I like those numbers. We can't expect 100% or anything like that. The eggs are usually taking about an extra day, which I'm not super happy about, but we're at almost the exact same hatch rate as we were last year. And I only expect that to go up for the rest of the year because the weather is going to be starting to work with us on that. So they are being a little bit slower this year, which is kind of annoying. It is everywhere. It's in Iowa, it's in Pennsylvania, it's in New York, it's here. I mean, it's all over the place. But it really doesn't seem like it's affecting everything except for our nerves. My nerves, because they're not there yet. Your nerves, because you're waiting for them to show up. So they're taking years off of my life and they're giving me more gray hair. But they're not affecting the hatch rates or the live quail. So I get it. I get it. Linda Easton Waller's in the house from Sacramento, California. Welcome. Can't wait for QuailCon. Absolutely. Gardening for Better Health says, hi everyone from Michigan. The last eggs I got from you hatched 3 weeks ago. They are jumbo mixes out of 30 eggs, 23 hatched. 23 out of 30. I'll take those numbers. Oops, that's not the right number. Jumbo mix. The jumbo out of the 6 developed and 3 were not fertile. I'm very happy with the hatch rate. Yeah, only 3 not developing is fantastic. So congratulations, you did a great hatch, and I'm happy you're happy, and congratulations. And thanks for letting me know. I did write that down for our records, and that is only going to help our numbers going forward. So thank you very much. Let's see. PJ's Family Farm is in the house. Says, good evening, all you beautiful quail homesteading people coming from the Catskill Mountains of New York. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Emma Ball is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. No one was talking to me for a minute. Hold, please. Oh, there we are. Laura says, I love the rare colors I got from you. They are 8 weeks old now out of 20. I have 10 roosters that are getting ready for the freezer this coming week. I get that. And yeah, I mean, the rare mix is really a lot of fun because you really do get a lot of really cool different colors. Yeah, it is cool. So thank you very much, and congratulations. And those 10 going to freezer camp, I wish you had more hens. But it is what it is. It's crapshoot. Sean Baldwin is in the house. 2 thermometers were lying and went first 4 days at 97.5 degrees, but 99.5 since. Should I delay lockdown by a day or so? So what I would do in this situation is I would put them in lockdown, meaning I would take them out of the turners on the day that they're supposed to. I would not increase your humidity for an extra 2 days. So the answer is I would let them go during the incubation process an extra 2 days, but just in case you do not want them hatching out in the turners, so I would actually lay them down like you would in lockdown on the day you're supposed to, and then start the high humidity 2 days later. Hopefully that makes sense. If that does not, feel free to let me know and I'll try to explain it in a different way. But that's what I would recommend. I gotta take a drink. John is in the house, says recommended incubator for quail. I need a small one and preferably on the cheaper side. I would recommend looking at the Little Giant. I really like the Little Giant. It did well for us. We did a review on that on our YouTube channel under Quail Product Reviews. It did pretty well, and able you're more than able to get really good hatch rates out of it. I was very negative about it when we got it in. I did not think it was going to go well. It went way past my expectations. It's very affordable. You can fit quite a bit of eggs in there. And to me, I think that's the best bang for your buck. McCool, 1957, says, don't forget to thumbs up, everybody. Absolutely. Please do so. We are about 19 away from our goal tonight, so if you can support the channel by just hitting the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. David Lister is in the house. Got to go pacify the pup. See y'all next time. Absolutely. Thanks for stopping by. Farm Life is in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Carrie Knapp says, we started giving our barn cats ground quail, and they loved it. There you go. Somebody was asking about that earlier. Thank you very much. Fat Country's in the house from Tampa, Florida. Welcome. We're glad you're here. David Cobb says, my birds are 13 weeks old. I have 12 hens, and I am getting 9 eggs a day. What would you recommend to get the other 3 laying? You could do a couple different things on the least extreme measures where it's not going to affect everything. What I would probably start with and give them about a week or two to adjust to that is I'd probably give them some electrolytes in the water. We use Save a Chick, which you can get at Amazon or Tractor Supply, things like that. And I would probably put some Rooster Booster in the feed. And again, give them about a week and a half to see if that works. That's where I would start because the next thing could ultimately affect the other hens for, a couple weeks of them not laying because you'd have to get into the cage and move some around. And I would try to avoid that the best that I can. So that's what I would start with is the electrolytes to help boost them up and the Rooster Booster and try to get them to jumpstart, if you will. Farm Life says, my quail have been outside for over 6 weeks and they haven't started laying yet. They do need 16 to 18 hours of light a day. So we're not getting enough sun yet. It hasn't quite shifted yet. So if they don't have artificial light, that would be the reason there. If you do move them from inside to outside or from cage to cage or whatever like that, you can stress them out, which means they'll stop laying for on average about 2 weeks. Now 6 weeks is obviously too long, which makes me think that it's a light issue, would be my assumption. M Ball says, when you guys mention QuailCon, I get jealous over here in the UK. I hear that. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing a lot of things different this year. We're learning a lot. We're taking a lot of things that we loved, and we're expanding that, and we're doing some things that I was willing to get rid of, and we're getting rid of those. So this year is going to be different, but better, and it's going to be really cool. Plus, I think every 2 or 3 years we should mix it up a lot for the people that come every year, so it's not the same thing every year. So I think it's going to be great. I really do. I wish I had more time to work on it right now, but we're still a while away. I've got our speakers, and we've got our location, and we've got the fundamentals down. There's just a lot of back end stuff that I got to work on, but I'm very excited about it. And I really like the changes that we've decided on this year, and more. So stay tuned. And you can always come. It's kind of far. I get it. Amy B's in the house. Good evening, Feather family. Welcome. We're glad you're here. John Alexander's in the house from Katy, Texas. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Ball with Boss says, have 200 eggs in the incubator. Very cool. Good luck. I wish you the best. Larry Bolt is in the house. I seen a video where you mentioned 3 square feet per bird was most productive. So my question is, too much space a bad thing and hurt egg production? Yes. So if you give them too much space, they will get territorial and aggressive towards one another. So then they'll start hurting each other, which will make the males pretty much kill themselves. Second, the hens will not feel safe which when the hens do not feel safe, whether it's a predator attack or too much space or not enough space or whatever, when they don't feel like the egg is going to be okay, they just stop laying altogether. Yeah, too much space. Now, if you give them, you know, 4 square feet or something like that, it's not going to be the end of the world. But if you give each quail, you know, um, 10 square feet each, then yeah, it's going to massively affect their behavior and their productivity. I don't know where I'm at. And it is 3 quail per square foot. Ben Garcia says, do you use the GQF incubators for balut as well? Your 2-door fridge incubator seems like a better option. Yes, everything goes into the GQFs. I've got, I don't know how many I have, 6 maybe. But everything goes in the GQFs now. Glenn Wells says, hello from Southeast Missouri. Been busy, 360 quail eggs in incubator, 35 bunnies 4 weeks old, and garden going in. Thought I would take a break from the tiller. Quail University is worth every penny. Absolutely. Welcome. We're glad you're here. And yes, you do sound pretty busy. Absolutely. And going back to Ben Garcia real quick, yes, the 2-door fridge incubator is great for doing very large orders like that. However, consistency is key, and when you do yourself incubators and use them as much as we do, things break, things don't work as consistently, and it's better to be as consistent as possible. So going with GQFs actually saves us a lot of money in the long run. Ben Garcia says, isn't the GQF incubators kind of small for balutes? No, we fit, yeah, I don't know, 1,300, 1,400 eggs in each balut. We triple stack the bottoms, so that's, I don't know, I think it's 120, so 120, 240, 360, and then that double that, which is what, 720, and then there's 240, so that's 480. I don't know, 480, 480, 480, and 720. 0, 8, 16, 24, 26, 8, 9, 10, 17. So yeah, we fit around 2,100 eggs in each GQF, which is more than enough. More than enough, especially when you have multiple. Kyle from Southwest Iowa's in the house. I received 30 variety colors from you guys last week. Will be hatching next weekend. I will update you then. Thank you. Awesome. Good luck. I wish you the best, and I hope you get a lot of fun colors. Farm Life says, just put eggs in the incubator yesterday. A lot of people in the incubation process right now. Very cool. Very cool. Good luck. I wish you the best. Terry Lee says, hi, I received my eggs Friday and placed them in the incubator Saturday, and my incubator was at 46% humidity, and for 4 days before placing the eggs, but now is at 50%. Is that okay? No, you do not want 50% humidity during the incubation process. So do not add any more water until lockdown again. Just let it go. Your humidity is way too high. If you can take the water out, that'd be great, but if that's too much of a hassle, or can affect the eggs too much by opening up the incubator or whatever, then just let it go and let it dry out. But do not add any more water until lockdown. That's called a dry hatch. And then at lockdown, make sure you get up to 75%. But yeah, you don't want a 50% humidity during the entire incubation process. Otherwise, you'll drown them eventually. Amy B says, I'm the world's worst vent sexer for my rosettas. I have resorted to asking their pronouns. There you go. It gets tricky. I get it. It gets tricky. You gotta, it's practice. Practice makes perfect on that. Psycho Ward 360's in the house. Hello, all you quail peeps, and hello, Zach. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Vase Place says, Zach, I harvested my first rabbit today. Very cool. Very exciting. Hopefully it went well for you. And we've got 2 that we're going to be harvesting as soon as I have a second to breathe, but I still have 3 bags of feed, so might not be for a while. Might as well go through that, right? But yeah, we've got two we got to do over here. Congratulations, very exciting, very exciting. Carl's in the house, Texas, sending love. Welcome, we're glad you're here. Um, McCool says, when talking of ground quail, are they ground whole or what? Feathers, etc. The only time that I've ever ground was whole with feathers and everything. I've not skinned them or taken the insides out or anything out when I've ground them. I've ground them completely whole. Bloodless call, put them in the grinder. But I haven't done that in a long, long time. Dave is in the house, says, question, do you need to be MPIP certified to ship hatching eggs? If it's across state lines, you do. Yes, it is the law. Yeah, if it's across state lines. If you're not crossing state lines, then you do not have to. Witch Doctor says, will you get to see the eclipse? It's now going to rain right at the time of the eclipse. I will be here, so yeah, I'm sure I'll walk outside. And I think it's like, I don't remember, it's like 3 minutes or 4 minutes of the total eclipse. So I'll probably walk out then. But I'll miss most of it because I've got to work all day. And I'll be inside. But I mean, I'll check it out every once in a while. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. Jenna bought those little glasses, so I don't know where they are, but she said she bought some. Witch Doctor says, Zach, want to do a class on butchering rabbits? No, I do not. Russ Crowby's in the house. Do you try to fix blade leg hatchling or dispatch them? That really is personal choice. I do not fix blade leg, but splay leg is an environmental issue, so we've worked very, very hard on eliminating that, so we really don't get that here. But no, if there's a splay leg or a wry neck or things like that, I do not try to fix. I dispatch, but it's a personal choice. Like when we started, we try to save everything. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The more you go on with raising animals and homesteading and self-sufficiency, you do realize that not everything makes it, and you get a little bit more custom to that, I guess you can say, more dull to that. So you just let them go, and you let them go quickly so they don't suffer anything like that. But I dispatch, but I'm not saying that that's for everybody. So it really is whatever you want to do. Both Boss says, went outside the other day and had 3 foot tall owls sitting on top of my cages. They definitely stopped laying for a while. LOL. I wouldn't guess so. I probably would have done worse than that. I guess so. Emma says, when doing blutes, do you have a video explaining the process? How do you find the sweet spot, and are they refrigerated straight away? They are not refrigerated at all. I do have YouTube videos about the blutes. In fact, I did one last year on the entire process of us putting them in, candling, cartoning, driving, dropping them off, and doing the whole process. So we do have a video on that. I believe it's under the Quail for Profit playlist. If I had to assume, no, it has to be. It has to be under the Quail for Profit playlist. But it does explain all of that. I do have a couple extra videos on the blute process, which is also under the same playlist. And the sweet spot is 12 days. So some of them will want them 13 or 14 or 11, but very, very large majority, like over 90%, will want 12-day blute. Buck Reynolds is in the house, says my pins are 36 by 3, I guess. How many birds can I put in them breeding birds? So it's 3 quail per square foot, and it's 4 to 5 hens for every male. So if it's, I think there was a typo on that. I'm not too sure, unless it's 36 by 3. But if that's the case, then it's 3 by 1, so that's 3 square feet. So you can put 3 quail per square feet, so that'd be about 9. So I would do, if it was me, I'd do a little bit less square feet, and I would do 8 hens and 2 males, is what I would do. Dragon Girl says, Russ, every time I try to nurse one of those along, I ended up needing to call by 2 weeks of age. That happens a lot, so I get that. And again, I hate to say it, and some people will disagree, but it really comes down to where you're at on your adventure with Coturnix quail. If you're just starting out, this is your first hatch, it's human nature. It's completely normal, and I'm not disagreeing with you to try to save everything you can. I think that's completely fine. But the more you're into it, and just I mean, just exactly what who said that? Dragon Girl said, every time I tried to nurse one of those along, I ended up needing to call by 2 weeks of age. Like, the more experience you get, the more you realize, okay, I can save this one and this one will produce for me and be fine, or I can grow it out to be meat, or you know what, I've done this before, I'm not going down this road, I'm just going to do it now and get it out of its misery. So it does take a lot of time, but if you're not ready to do that, then I'm not encouraging that at all. We are almost out of the comments. I am going to keep going, but we do only need 8 more likes to hit the goal tonight. So if you can, support the channel by just hitting the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Beam Farm is in the house. Says howdy everyone, saying hi, welcome. We're glad you're here. Larry Bolt says, okay, sounds good. I got 60 eggs coming from y'all, hopefully soon. Pretty excited. Awesome. Good luck, and we'll get you out as quickly as we can. Buck Reynolds says, would it be better to make them 30 by 18? What? I don't know what that means. 30 by 18, maybe you're going back to the split them. I wouldn't split them in two. I'm assuming, okay, so I'm assuming you're doing the 36 by 30 is what it was supposed to be, or what, I guess that's what it says. I just couldn't tell. So no, I don't really like dividing. I like the colony cages, one feeder, one set of waters, all of them are together. You can manage it much better, much faster, much easier. And I'm all about efficiency. So I wouldn't split unless you're working on a specific project. Then I would understand that. So if that's the case, then yeah, I would just put them all together. Let's see. For Zoo Florida's in the house. Darby from Brooksville, Florida. Just curious about your perspective on the bird flu. Thanks. I'm not really worried about it. It's not really being affected anywhere around us. It seems as though that anything that's affected this year has been massive farms. And the last time, let's see, April. Oh, he's supposed to be coming out this month. So our MPIP guy always updates and keeps us updated on that. When he was out about 2 months ago, so he comes out every 3 months and tests us. It really seems like there is a breakdown in the very large farms as far as the biosecurity goes, but as far as the what's he call them? I hate the word, but what's he call them? The hobby farms. That's what he calls them. Hobby farms. So if it's not a full-fledged business or anything like that, if you've got multiple animals and things like that, it's really not affecting them at all. The only thing that he's concerned with is if you have a pond or a body of water right next to you, where it's like you're walking past it or around it at all times, that's a very big concern. But other than that, it's really not affected them at all. And we don't have, well, we have one duck because he's been with us for like 11 years and he's never going to die. I don't know what's going on with that duck, but that's our only waterfowl. And he is locked up away from everything else. He's got a couple of friends and that's where he stays. He's nowhere near our path, can't get near us. I never go near him. So if you do have waterfowl and other animals like chickens or quail, I would try to separate those because that's the big thing. But if you don't have any waterfowl, then there's always a possibility, but it's very minute if you don't have any waterfowl at all. But again, if you keep things clean, follow your own standards and be on purpose what you're doing, then I think you're going to be fine. Amy says, I moved mine back into the garage after the neighbor had to physically knock a hawk off my cage with a long piece of pipe. Yep, that'll do something too. So yeah, putting them back in the garage is probably a good call on that. Beam Farm says, I now have 3 GQFs. I'm really impressed with these incubators. Yeah, I love the GQFs. Absolutely love them. Tony says, I got 90 of your jumbo wild eggs in the incubator Friday night. Thanks, Zach. Awesome. Good luck. I wish you the best. And keep me posted on the hatch. But good luck. Andy says, will jumbo wild hatching be available June, July? Yep, absolutely. We ship all year long. Absolutely. June, July will probably be around the same. I don't know. June, July last year we were on a higher weight, but I mean they'll be available. There most likely will be a wait time on them, but they will be available. Witch Doctor says, "Oh, I will feed you my." Oh, you're not talking to me. Jaguar Andy says, hello, I come bearing questions like always. If I add a sponge to an incubator, I know it increases the humidity, but does it also increase the duration of the respective humidity level? Yes, it does. Very good question. And so, yes, it does raise the humidity, and it maintains that humidity for a longer period of time. So, yes, very, very good question. Sejan is in the house. Can you send jumbo hatching eggs into India? Not at this time. I am working on things. But no, not at this time. And it probably won't be until next year. A lot of red tape for a lot of different countries. So we got Canada on board this year, and we got all that worked out, and we learned a lot. But we definitely don't want to overextend and try to do too much. So we are working on it, but it is going to be a slow process. Witch Doctor says, Zach, I'm going to switch to Battleborn to get you another like. Well, thank you very much. We are way past the 100 for the Golden Knight, so thank you, everybody. I appreciate all the support. Battleborn Urban Farm is in the house, says I'm back with a like. Well, thank you very much. Feather Connections Homestead's in the house, says, hey, sorry I'm late. 5 Mountain Time is dinner time here in Utah. I get that completely. We've tried, not necessarily on the Sunday Night Lives, but I've tried to do different time slots for different things. Like, we start ours at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. I've tried to do 8, and I've even tried to do a 9 o'clock here so that it's later for the East Coast, and I just can't do it. I wake up way too early, and I can't do it. I can't do it. So I get it. I'm sorry. Sherry says, hi, Zach. What is your hatch rate in mailed eggs? A little over 73% on hatched eggs for the year. Last year was, I thought it was, I don't remember. Now I'm confusing myself. I thought it was 74.5, but I don't think that's right anymore. I'd have to look. But yeah, we're as of right now, we're averaging a little over 73% hatch rate on shipped eggs for the year from the customers that give us back feedback, whether it's through text or email, myself or Jenna, which we do get quite a bit. Wyatt Higgs says 101 likes. Yay, absolutely. We're now up to 106, so thank you everybody for the support. I appreciate it. Feather Connections is in the house. Nick D says, when dry incubating, is there humidity that's too low? Nope. Not during the incubation process. During lockdown there is, but not during the incubation process. It's not a big deal at all. Now, if you are dry hatching, it is better to increase your temp to 100.5. So that means increasing it 1 full degree. But the humidity does not matter during the incubation process if you're dry hatching. Thomas says, let's give this great guy a like and subscribe. Hey everyone, I'm here with my newborn Amelia. Got to start them early. Absolutely. Congratulations. Very exciting. And you're probably sleeping less than I am right now. So congratulations on that. Good luck. But very exciting. That's very exciting. Amy says, does the elevated temperature that quail run compared to chickens and turkeys and inhibit avian influenza. No, that's not been tested and proven. I'm sure that it helps, but it's not been tested and proven. The big thing, the big difference is that most quail are isolated into a cage or a hutch, and they're usually off the ground. That is one of the biggest things why quail. Well, I don't want to say that. That contributes a lot. Not hearing a lot of cases about quail, and I'm not going to jinx anything. That's what I'll say about that. Bob Coles in the house says, thanks, Zach, for another informative chat. Not a problem. Thanks for showing up. Hig Homestead's in the house. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Jaguar Andy says, thanks for answering about the sponge and humidity. I'm going to grab me a sponge for my incubator ASAP. There you go. Well, good luck. Hig says, been lurking. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. P. Atlantis is in the house. Finally caught a live stream. Well, welcome. We're glad you're here. Finally got my first quail egg. Happy day. Very cool. That's very rewarding and exciting. Feathered Connections Homestead says, oh, don't worry. You do a live when you have time. We all show up when we can to show our support. Well, thank you very much. And hopefully I'll be able to get back on track with at least with the lives. But yeah, I've been thinking about today. I mean, it's not like I can cut things out, but I think I'm gonna have to reprioritize and just decide that some things are gonna have to be pushed back. I just don't know what I'm willing to do that with yet. But we'll get it all done. We always do. Alaska Nomad says, I know you've been crazy busy, but I'm so happy to have this live now. I've missed the crew the last 2 Sundays. We will be back. It is very important for me personally to continue the lives. So, you know, I might have to miss 1 or 2. I've hardly seen the kids or Jenna for weeks now. I've been working constantly. And so, you know, I really felt it was necessary to spend time with the family last Easter, but usually I'll be here. It is important for me to continue these and be consistent with them, so we'll do better with that. Chris is in the house. This is our first live. Thank you for answering all our questions. Well, thanks for asking. I appreciate that. That's why we're here, and welcome to the community. We're glad you're here. Pete Lynch says, is dry hatching okay to do so in SoCal? I'm getting humidity around 20%. Yeah, I do know a lot of people that do dry hatching in California, and that's completely fine. Alaska Nomad says, oh, and I met another Myshire fan today, but she didn't know about QuailCon. I hooked her up. There you go. Well, good luck, and hopefully that everybody can make it. We'd love for everybody to come to QuailCon. It's going to be very, very different this year, and that is very exciting to me. That is all of the questions tonight, everybody. Thank you very much for supporting the channel by hitting the like button. I greatly appreciate it. We will be back next week. I am not saying that we're going to be doing any videos anytime soon. There's no way, not happening at all. I thought about maybe pulling out my phone and just doing a YouTube video about the eclipse tomorrow, but I don't even know if I'll have time for that. So we'll see. But yeah, a lot of things going on. I mean, I don't remember being this busy ever. But we will get through it. That is what we are here for, is to work and to improve and to help, and hopefully that's what I'm doing, or I'm just running in circles and doing nothing. That would be a crapper, wouldn't it? So a lot of things going on, but Sunday nights are very important and special to me, so we will continue to do those. And I really do have a lot of great info that I'd love to share with everybody, but finding the time, it's always the time. So one day, just stay with me. Just be patient, hang on, and we'll get through it. So again, everybody, thank you very much for showing up. I really appreciate everybody doing that. Everybody, and we will see you guys next Sunday. If by chance I can throw a video together, that would be great, but don't expect it. And we will see everybody next Sunday. Until then, everybody, stay safe and happy hatching, everybody.